Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Welcome to mindforcombat. If you're new to this channel, my name's Rohan. This is my platform where I do fight breakdowns both in MMA and boxing, discuss fights, talk about upcoming fights, and just so much more. So if you're new here, why don't you help me to grow my platform by hitting the subscribe button, getting involved in the conversation in the comment section below, and just get involved with me, sharing out the video to your friends and family, anyone that you know may be into fans, and help me to get my platform growing, help me to reach those numbers. I'm creeping up to the 700 mark and I really need your help to get there, so please guys, help me to get there. Anyways, for this video, I'm going to be looking at the fight between the upcoming rematch between Joseph Benavidez and Jussier Formiga. And I was going to do just a breakdown of the fight, but I just kind of wanted to have a bit of a discussion about it as well, because there's some thoughts on my mind. So this fight is kind of important in the grand scheme of things, because where we don't know what's going on with the 125-pound division, you have to ask and wonder, well, what's going on with this fight? Why has this fight been booked by the UFC? And just what's the plan here? What happens with the winner? Because logic will tell you that both men are in line for a title shot. The winner of this, if it's Joseph Benavidez, who, you know, has the last win against Henry Cejudo, it's his last unrevenged win as well, only other loss. So, you know, if Joseph Benavidez wins against a top-ranked flyweight contender who's on a win streak in his own right, then he's got to arguably be fighting for a belt next. If not, and Jussier Formiga wins, well, then you got to wonder, well, what's next for Formiga? He's got all these wins. I believe that will make him like 5 in a row, and he would have beaten Joseph Benavidez, the last man to beat Henry Cejudo. His fight in his own right with Henry Cejudo was very close. Does he deserve a title shot? Now, in my opinion, if you want to be a champ, that's fine. But the right thing next for Henry Cejudo shouldn't be defending his bantamweight title against Aljamain Sterling. No, because Aljamain Sterling, he has potential opponents there, and it is debatable if he earned his title shot. I mean, yes, he should get a title shot in the scheme of things, but with Peter Yan knocking at the door as well, for me, an ideal scenario would have been a main event between Henry Cejudo versus whoever wins this fight, and in the co-main event, you could have Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan to set up the next #1 contender for the bantamweight championship. You see, in MMA, there's this whole new craze about champs, and I would personally prefer if guys would just stick around in their weight class and fight in their weight class and just stick to what they know. But if you want to be fighting in different weight classes, I don't want other weight classes to suffer. See, I'm a huge fan of the 125-pound division. It brought us Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who, in my opinion, is one of the, if not the greatest fighters of all time. The only people I have ahead of him is probably GSP. Actually, I've done a video of it, of my top 5 fighters of all time, so you guys can check that out. But yeah, you know, I have him very high, there or thereabouts, as the greatest fighter of all time. He's without question one of the greatest fighter of the last 10 years, and he's just done so many amazing things, and I feel like he doesn't get the respect he deserves. The flyweight division brought us his brilliance. Then we've got Henry Cejudo, who's brilliant in his own right. We've just got generally great fights, and guys that are true 125ers that shouldn't be having to fight at 135 pounds. The flyweight division serves a purpose, and we should have it. And Henry Cejudo, if you want to make a stance, you'll never see this, but Henry Cejudo, if you want to make a stance and talk about saving the flyweight division, then save the flyweight division, defend your 125-pound belt next, and let the bantamweight division have a clear-cut #1 contender, and let's keep 125 pounds around Dana. Dana won't see the cyber, but in case you do, Dana, please keep the 125-pound division around, and let us fight fans be able to enjoy it. And if people are uneducated fight fans and they're insecure about small men being able to fight better than them, well, then they're bitches, and we don't care about bitches' opinions. And it's just such a great division, and I really hope it can stick around. And that's why this fight's kind of key. So let me just kind of do a quick breakdown. Let's go through the Taylor tape quickly, because I don't want to make a 20-25 minute video, but you know, I just felt like I had some things to say there. So they're both 34 years old coming into this fight, and they both have relatively similar amount of experience at 27 and 5 and 23 and 5. So they're both meeting at a similar point in their career for the rematch. They've got about the same amount of fights in MMA, and they're the same age. So they're both meeting slap bang at the right time for both of them. It's a very even fight. Joseph Benavidez stands at 5'4", and Formiga stands at 5'5". He has a 1-inch reach advantage, and a 1-inch height advantage, and a 2-inch reach advantage, with a 67-inch reach as opposed to Joseph Benavidez' 65-inch reach. So there's a bit of a difference there. Joseph Benavidez, his style, well, he's multifaceted and he's very well rounded. He can do a lot of things in mixed martial arts, but I think, in my opinion, what stands out for him, particularly when you see the last Henry Cejudo fight, is his Muay Thai, his boxing. He's obviously got good wrestling, he's got good powerful hands. He's got, but he does throw a lot of wild punches as well, and I like that. I think it suits him. He does well with it. He fights Jussier Formiga, who's a BJJ dude, and beyond that, he's actually got real developing stand-up. If you saw his last fight, you know his stand-up's really improved a lot. Some of the key wins now. For Joseph Benavidez, his key wins includes Jussier Formiga himself, who he knocked out the last time they fought. He's beaten Miguel Torres back in the day, back when Miguel Torres had just lost his belt, so that's an incredible win. He's beaten the former bantamweight champion of the WEC, Eddie Wineland, who's just a man. He beat Ian Uncle Creepy McCall, who was a great fighter when he beat him as well, one of the best in 125-pound division. And he's beaten John Moraga and the current champ Henry Cejudo himself. So he's got a long, extensive resume with great wins on it. Even his losses are guys like, he's got 2 losses to Dominic Cruz, 2 losses to Demetrius Johnson, 2 of the greatest fighters of all time, and then a very close split decision loss to Sergio Pettis, which I felt like could have gone his way, but that's irrelevant. The fact is he lost to him, so there's that. With Jussier Formiga, he's got some great wins as well. He's beaten Wilson Reyes, who's fought for a world title before. He's beaten Sergio Pettis, who beat Joseph Benavidez, and he's also beaten Davison Figueiredo. I'm bad at names, but I know it's something like that, Figueiredo, something like that. Anyways, the issues and X factors. For Joseph Benavidez, his issue is probably going to be that he does get a bit wild. Also, I wonder when you're talking about having a win over Formiga previously, do you then start to think, well, is he going to be underestimating Formiga, who has vastly improved since the last time they fought, and is there some kind of mental damage or like mentality issues coming into this fight? He fights Formiga, whose issues I think coming into this fight is going to come down to he has been knocked out, so almost on the back of the Joseph Benavidez thing is Joseph Benavidez coming in overconfident. Is Formiga coming in with fear in his heart that this man has knocked him out previously? And that's a real thing. I've spoken to fighters who have lost fights before and they just couldn't break that mental barrier when they fought that guy again, and that does have an impact. And also so his X factor for this fight is not just his BJJ but his ever evolving stand-up game. Joseph Benavidez, I feel like we've seen the product of Joseph Benavidez around for a long time, but Formiga is very much developing. He continues to develop and he's well-rounded. He's rounding out his game very well. Now, my prediction for this fight. So, I honestly see this as being a very close fight, contested very closely everywhere, whether that be in the grappling exchanges or on the feet. And I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like Joseph Benavidez has incredibly underrated grappling, and I feel like at this stage of Formiga's career, he has a crazily underrated stand-up. They're both getting really good at what they do, and this is just such an appealing fight for me. It's really hard for me to predict a winner in this fight, but I have to lean on Joseph Benavidez. I feel like he still has the slight stand-up advantage. Well, not slight, I still feel like he has an advantage in the stand-up area, and as the fight progresses, goes to the mat, I feel like he'll be able to avoid the mat long enough and keep this fight standing. And if it does go down, I feel like he has the mean skills and abilities to be able to survive grappling exchanges, and he'll be fine. So yeah, I'm going to go with Joseph Benavidez. That's my official prediction, to get the win over the period of 3 rounds. But if Formiga's to pull it off and he's improved, well, that wouldn't surprise me. So fight fans, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Let me know if you think my plea to save the 125-pound division is possible. Hopefully it is. I really hope it is. And let me know if you guys want to see the 125-pound division stick around. I feel like it still serves a purpose. Me as a fan, I enjoy the product, and I feel like it's unfair for smaller fighters to be, not have a fair opportunity to compete in their correct weight class just because some people are closed-minded and have an issue with it. And the fights are exciting, fights are incredible, the talent is there. Why would we do that? I don't understand. But anyways, guys, comment below, let me know what you think, share out this video, like the video, and if you haven't, then subscribe.